You are a masterpiece. Is that the first thing you thought this morning? We are God's handiwork. We are God's workmanship. We were designed to be a masterpiece. And then sin entered the world and messed all that up. Adam and Eve were created as a masterpiece. And then sin entered the world. And they became spiritually dead. And at the same instant, physical death entered their bodies, and their lifespan would be limited. But these souls are reclaimed and redeemed through the work of Jesus Christ on the cross. We, on that judgment day, however that looks, stand in front of the Lord and we say, I plead guilty. I haven't made it by my own efforts. I plead mercy based on the merit and perfect good works of my Savior, Jesus Christ. He was the only one considered worthy to go to the cross and take away the sins not only of you, but me, and all of those who would come to him and say, Jesus, you're my Lord, my Savior. That any improvement in our behavior, any improvement in our faith, any increase in our knowledge of God is in fact a gift from God himself. We realize that Jesus' work on that cross did in an instant redeem us. In the Lutheran world, that's what we call justification. And it happens like that. It takes our lifetime for God to rid us of the world that infects us. Sanctification is that ongoing process whereby God's grace we increase in our faith, whereby God's love he draws us to him, whereby God's sacrifice through Jesus he pardons and welcomes. We are saved from the bondage of sin and the power of sin, and we are saved from the penalty of sin. And when the Lord takes us home, we'll be free even from the very presence of sin. We are freed from God's wrath. He took that wrath that we deserve, and he blasted his Son on the cross. To the point where at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Jesus said from the cross, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Justice would be getting what we deserve for the behavior that we exhibit as a fallen creature. But God bestows upon us his mercy so that we don't get what we deserve. But then God goes a step further and he extends to us his grace. And grace is when we get something that we don't deserve. Sometimes he will chisel like a sculptor to reveal what looks more like we were created to be. All of these trials and tribulations can be used to help us grow in our faith and our love toward God, but equip us to, as he commanded, love our neighbor as he has loved us. I will take joy in my suffering if it equips me to do the good works that you have called me to, which you have prepared in advance for me. My question for us, are we sometimes confined because of what we can't see tomorrow might bring? And yet God tells us, I know what tomorrow holds. I know where you will be in a month, and I know where I want you in a year. Don't be afraid. Love me with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. And in loving your neighbor as I have called you to love your neighbor, as I have loved you, trust me.